The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, I'm Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today we're going to conduct a sea trial and performance evaluation of the Pardo 43, a sophisticated, elegant day boat designed to capture the feel of an effortless nonchalance. Of course, any boater knows that good performance and utility come from careful engineering and attention to detail, and the Pardo 43 has plenty of features designed to suit those who want fun days on the water, easily managed. Beginning with the hull design, below the waterline she has a sharp, versatile running surface where the dead rises more than 50 degrees. The bottom then warps out to 16 degrees at the transom, a design that works with the boat's Volvo Penta IPS propulsion. As to the performance, the Pardo 43 has a length overall of 45 feet 11 inches and a beam of 13 feet 9 inches. With an empty weight of 21,780 pounds, 40% fuel and 2 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 23,426 pounds. With the twin 435 horsepower Volvo Penta IPS 600s powering our test boat, we reached the top speed of 35.7 knots at 3630 RPM. Best economic cruise came in at 2200 RPM and 17.6 knots. It was at that speed that the 14-gallon-per-hour fuel burn translated into 1.3 nautical miles per gallon and a range of 358.8 nautical miles. Acceleration from a standing start to plane averaged 6.4 seconds, while from 0 to 20 took an average of 7.5. She exhibited very little bow rise even with hard acceleration. The Pardo 43 was responsive and offered no surprises as we put her through some relatively mild turns at speed, which are limited by the IPS system keeping everyone on board comfortable. Sharper turns can be made at lower speeds where the pods have a greater swing to their rotation. She has a comforting inward lean on the turns. Her plumb bow is really a non-factor at speed since it's out of the water, but we ran through the wake of our camera boat and the spray reel, chine, and strakes on a running surface kept the interior dry as she cut through the waves and landed softly. The IPS shines around the dock because of its joystick control. Optional dynamic positioning allows a single-handed boater to hold station to set up dock lines and fenders. The joystick allows the boat to easily nudge up against the pilings, and with high bulwarks and open deck space from stem to stern, we were able to tie her up easily. Now let's look at some of her operational features. The Helm console has a centerline wheel position on a shiny black composite dashboard. The leather-wrapped wheel is on a tilt base, and the Volvo Penta throttle and shift binnacle and joystick are located to starboard. A leather-covered brow shades the dashboard. A compass atop the Helm console was aligned with the wheel. Our test boat had a pair of optional 16-inch Raymarine Axiom Pro multifunction displays on an angled surface with a dedicated Volvo Penta engine monitoring display to starboard. There's a flat surface below the displays with a couple of trays to hold your stuff. A raised section between the trays held the Raymarine autopilot control. To starboard, there's a Fusion stereo and the quick windlass control with chain counter, all falling easily to hand. The next panel down has switches for electrical systems that were set in carbon fiber effect panels, as well as a grab handle for the starboard companion seating. The wired microphone for the Raymarine VHF and speaker were located beneath the wheel on an angled surface. A fixed bar serves as a footrest at the base of the console. A raked curved acrylic windshield has a steel frame covered in canvas with a zipper to secure an optional enclosure. The windshield was a good height to protect us from the direct wind when running, but still let plenty of ventilation onto the helm. The curving corners of the windshield were the only places where there was distortion. An optional enclosure could expand the useful season. The helm has 3 comfortable seats, 1 for the driver and 2 for companions. They all have flip-up bolsters. The T-top angled supports add design flair to an otherwise mundane and obtrusive feature. The distinctive carbon fiber T-top is 7 feet above the helm and has 2 tinted skylights, the forward one measuring 3 feet 9 inches fore and aft, while the aft one measures 1 foot 3 inches. Each one is 5 feet 8 inches wide. Angled stainless steel stanchions forward have minimal impact on lines of sight. Our test boat had the optional electric bimini aft that extended at the push of a button, and it was also equipped with optional LEDs. The companionway is located on the port end of the helm console where an acrylic pocket door slides inboard. The horizontal top of the door measures 28 inches while the vertical front of the door is 30 inches. It opens to be 19 inches wide. Below decks in the cabin there are hatches in the sole to access bilge and plumbing for the freshwater system and shower, as well as the fittings on top of the freshwater tanks. Additional access and stowage are beneath the aft berths. This locker over the aft berth offers stowage and access to an air handler for the air conditioning system. The electrical breaker panels for the 12-volt DC and 120-volt AC systems are behind tinted covers in the bulkhead to port of the companionway. The genset control head is also there, convenient for overnighters to manage the system. Back on deck, to either side of the helm, are fold-out teak and stainless steel boarding steps to make it easier to climb aboard from high docks. To get around deck safely in a seaway, there are 13-foot 5-inch handrails along the top of the bulwarks on the inside edge to port and starboard. The side decks on either side of the helm console are 15 inches, where the bulwarks are 30 inches above the deck. These optional pad-style fenders have dedicated stowage in the bulwarks to port and starboard. To help keep the boat's look clean yet protect it from scuffs, these receivers accept pegs that latch into place to secure the fenders. The plumb bow has an optional anchor system concealed behind a door that opens automatically. The windlass and road locker are accessible beneath a hatch under a bench seat in the bow. Because the windlass is mounted on a steel bridge over the foredeck, the road is easily accessible, and the anchor and pulpit automatically push the bow door open. Engine room access is via a centerline deck hatch that's positioned partially under the forward cockpit settee, which has a hinge section to allow the hatch to open fully. Once open, there's a diamond plate step that is 10 inches by 16 inches, and it simplifies entry with a 1-foot 6-inch step from the deck and then 1-foot 11-inch step down from that. There's an additional entry hatch beneath the aft sun pad in the sole of the larger gear locker with a steel lid. Insulated with foil-covered sound reduction material on the overhead and sides, the engine room has 4 feet of headroom, and the Volvo Penta IPS 600s are placed at 1 foot 7 inches apart. There's access on the forward end of the port engine with 1 foot 3 inches of space forward, while starboard has 3 feet 10 inches. There's 1 foot 4 inches of working room above the forward part of the mains and 7 inches above the aft end of each. The IPS pods have 1 foot 2 inches of clearance overhead. This installation uses 2 feet 10 inch long jack shafts between the engine and the pod to place the engine weight in the proper location for the best longitudinal center of gravity and balance. There's 2 feet 8 inches of space outboard of the engine and pods, so one can get there as needed by climbing over the jack shaft when the engines are turned off. The fuel tanks are also positioned outboard to port and starboard with sight glasses that are easy to read. Our test boat was outfitted with a quick gyro stabilizer, as well as an upgraded 8 kW Fisher Panta generator. The automated fire suppression system is placed for easy inspection, as are the batteries, though we'd like to see them with covered boxes. Marillon through hulls use double hose clamps. The Fisher Panta inverter is mounted near the genset, while the quick battery charger is on the forward bulkhead. The Pardo 43 is at once an easily handled boat and loaded with safety features. She draws a lot of attention both around the dock and underway, so bragging rights are included as standard. She also has lots of ways to make it easy to be the consummate host, but that's another video, be sure to look for it. For now, that's our full sea trial and performance evaluation of the Pardo 43. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.